All right, and this is MongCast episode 2. We're talking about TGS and
Episode 2? That was a first?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, you remember we were playing...
Rocket League?
Yeah, we were playing Rocket League. And we decided to talk about stuff because it was really just a test, but we decided to make that into the first one. So this is our second podcast.
So technically, it's first one with all the members present.
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
Hey, look at that thing.
What?
It's a thing.
That's cool, Gio.
Yeah, I agree.
So, TGS, Tokyo Game Show. We started this, but we had a little technical error.
What are you talking about? This is our first attempt ever. No errors.
This is our second attempt.
No, it's our first attempt.
This is our second.
They can't know. We're perfect.
No, we went like 3 minutes into an actual podcast that we were doing.
Perfect.
And then audio problems because stupid brackets. But that's all you need to know.
That's racist.
But, so we're talking about Bloodborne now, the new DLC that was just announced. If you can speak a little bit more onto that. Tony.
Why me?
Because you're so into the Soul series, though.
Yeah, but not
Phineas.
Bloodborne.
So what? I own all the Souls games, but I don't play any of them.
To be fair, though, I am actually interested in it because it is it's the first expansion for Bloodborne, and I haven't beaten Bloodborne yet, so I need to do it.
I haven't played Bloodborne more than 2 hours.
I got to the second boss.
I watched the entire game.
Yeah, he's a scrub.
I played the Cleric Beast, and that's it.
You played the Cleric Beast?
I beat his ass.
You did?
Hell yeah.
He's really easy to beat with the Hunter's Axe.
I don't care what people say, the blunderbuss. Always use it.
I use the pistol. I hate the blunderbuss.
The pistol takes multiple shots if you're trying to get a, it's not a repost.
What? I get a repost.
Counterattack.
I get a counterattack.
The blunderbuss is guaranteed, though.
Not all the time.
Worth it.
Not all the time.
Well, it's a fucking close combat game.
Yeah?
Yeah?
I
So
like
you're
to,
always in his face, used to shouting.
I like to keep my distance, man.
Yeah? Is that how it works in your relationships, too?
Yeah, it does. Don't get close.
No, you don't look at me when we make love.
Shut up. But the DLC is called The Old Hunters.
What's
So
it about? I didn't look at
there's possibility that's about it's like a prequel in a way. Like it could be about the hunters before the current events right now in Bloodborne. Because there's reference towards them.
Would they make you lose your character progress, though?
No.
You think?
Because they never did that in the Souls games.
I feel like it would just be him, like, going into an older area, maybe visiting older hunters.
Like in Dark Souls 2, when I beat Dark Souls 2, I was like...
Jermaine.
I was done. I beat all the bosses. And
Sure,
there's an option when you go to the main bonfire in Majula to begin Journey 2 to Drain Lake or whatever. You can do that, or you can just stay at the current progress you are now and just not do anything. But when the DLC drops, you can go to the new DLC areas at the current level you are. Even if you do start a new game, you'd have to start all the way over from the beginning, which means you probably won't have the DLC unlocked at that point until you get to it. So that's why I don't ever do New Game Plus or anything like that until DLC drops.
I know nothing about this series.
Why?
Because I won't play it.
Also, if you do New Game
play
Plus and Dark Souls DLC, you're gonna have a hard time.
You're just gonna have a bad time.
You're gonna have a really bad time. It's fucking difficult, dude.
That's basically it, though. Like, TGS didn't... I don't think they talked much about Bloodborne, really. Like,
They just said, here's a 3-minute trailer thing or whatever.
like, that's basically...
And they just moved on. They're like, nope, that's it. From Software, we're done.
Well, I believe
Thanks,
there's
Ron.
still days to go
FS.
for TGS.
Cool thing is,
still
the expansion
still-
comes out like the day
November.
before my birthday, November 24th.
24th.
So I'm excited for that. I will definitely buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't even have a PS4.
Well, just go to
I'll
your
buy
account.
one.
Go
I
to your
will buy
account and buy it since he
Yeah.
owns the game.
That's the
and
plan.
then when you one day are able to get the game, you already have DLC.
That's the point.
Whoosh. Mind blown.
It's so weird. So, public days for TDS. Wait a second. I am so confused about... I just can't stand year, date. Yeah, you're using it.
What are you looking at?
I'm just looking at the... I'm looking at the schedule for TGS.
Okay.
Kind of.
Do we have anything else to talk about TGS?
A lot of stuff. Like,
There's.
I don't
You
know
want to move on to the
anything
next
about
game?
The next game,
Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
That's not TGS.
Yeah, it is.
That's not TGS.
Are we sticking with TGS for now?
Tokyo Game Show.
It's
Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah,
Right.
Ubisoft.
My
Right.
God.
Before you talk any further, just let me just finish my sentence. Assassin's Creed Syndicate DLC was announced at TGS.
That's stupid.
Jack the Ripper.
That's
Was it really?
actually, that's stupid too.
Let's see. Ubisoft took the Sony stage during its pre-TGS briefing to announce the Jack the Ripper DLC for Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Why would they do
The
that?
DLC is centered around the infamous serial killer and is part of the season pass.
Wait, they're already announcing DLC
See,
for
I'm gonna.
a game that-
This
So
is
this
what I'm
is-
gonna
this
say.
is what I want
I'm gonna say right here though.
Okay, go
About
ahead.
that DLC before the game has even come out.
I agree with you already saying it.
If
I
any-
I hated the idea that Fallout 4 is doing that too. Like, don't do that.
No, they're not.
They don't know their DLC.
They're like,
announcing a
hey,
season pass,
the
but
game's being released, but if you guys
Don't
want
do it.
DLC, we'll do DLC. We just don't know what yet. They're not like, hey, here's the DLC. This is what exactly is going to come out.
They're
I
like,
never
here,
looked into
$30.
it.
They have the
That's all I heard.
DLC done and ready to go. After the game was already announced. Like, the game should be finished, and they're already
Exactly.
making DLC before it's released.
I'm cool with that though. But Assassin's Creed Syndicate doing DLC that
Ubisoft
they're
just ugh.
It's stupid. First of all, it's stupid that they're doing that. Second of all, it's stupid that they're doing Jack the Ripper because we just discovered who Jack the Ripper actually is
Did
in
we?
real life. Yeah. It was announced
like
not that long ago.
guaranteed, because last I watched a
Yeah.
documentary, that was
What?
years ago. I watched a documentary. We are pretty sure that he's a guy who came to America.
No, it
started
was-
murdering people.
One second. It was just revealed a couple of months ago.
Jack the Ripper is best known. He's unidentified.
Yeah, he's unidentified. This is Wikipedia.
Well, this is Wikipedia though. But
Wikipedia is on that shit, yo.
I know, but there was this whole big thing
Suspect.
about how.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there was this big thing not that long ago about how
I see nothing.
they revealed who he was.
Are you sure it wasn't Syndicate?
I'm
like a movie.
fairly certain it wasn't Syndicate since this was months ago.
It doesn't look like it's a thing.
I'm totally sure that this was a thing that somebody found out who Jack the Ripper actually was.
When I learned about him, they suspected he was a guy who came to America and started murdering people as well, because it had a similar MO, and it was around the same time that the killing stopped and killing started beginning in, I think it was Chicago or New York.
It would make sense.
He came to America.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Anyway, you got anything else, Tony? About
So,
Ubisoft and their shitty...
Being stupid.
That's just...
If any company can announce DLC before the game is released, that's horrible. You should not be allowed to do that. It's dumb. It's like, hey, we finished the game, quote unquote, but we have more stuff to add to it when it's released.
It's like, hey, we saved this spec, we put this manpower into it, we saved this spec, put it to the side just so we could charge you for it
Also,
later.
pre-order bonuses are stupid. It's like, hey, pre-order this
I don't
game,
mind pre-order
and you'll get a secret mission or whatever, a special mission. Why would you cut out that mission from the game? Just for pre-orders?
Not to mention, a lot of the time, it just comes in as DLC later.
Exactly,
Like,
it's dumb.
Well, I don't mind it because it's an incentive.
If you don't pre-order a game, you're basically
I think
getting an
pre-ordering in
unfinished
general
game.
is an unfair... Like, that's...
It's an incentive.
It's dumb.
It's an
Pre-ordering in general
incentive
is dumb.
to just buy the game now.
But it's like, why?
I wanted to fucking pre-order
Well,
a game.
some people
but-
want to because Fallout 4.
Right. Bethesda is one of the few companies I will understand, even when their games are broken on release, because the game is still fantastic when it's
Yeah,
broken.
Bethesda's
That is
great. What are you talking about?
Like, Bethesda
I'm still
has a
very
has an
disappointed in
amazing
Skyrim.
track record.
Skyrim was awesome. What are you
My
talking about?
205 hours of Skyrim.
Okay,
was
if you can log
disappointing.
205 hours into a game, after 10 hours of playing a game, you gotta realize whoa, I hate this game. Why am I still playing it?
I didn't hate it. It's a disappointment
Why'd you play it for another 180 hours?
because I had to beat everything that I was gonna do.
So you're a completionist, so you play a shitty game just to complete it.
That's horrible.
Not a completionist. I just completed all the things that I wanted to do.
So you
I didn't
wanted to
complete
play Skyrim, is what you're saying.
No, I didn't
Will you
complete
play
everything.
Sky Oblivion when it's done?
Exactly,
No,
will
I
you?
won't.
Why?
Best mod
I don't
ever.
want to.
But it's Oblivion.
I don't want to.
And Skyrim.
But it's Oblivion in the
Yeah,
Skyrim
but I already
engine.
played Oblivion.
But you want to play it again. I know
don't.
I do. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I love Oblivion.
I'd play Oblivion for the story. I will replay Oblivion for the story because I was not disappointed in Oblivion. whatsoever. I was disappointed in Skyrim.
Skyrim was
100%.
It was okay. It was interesting. It was different. It was definitely.
It was not
You never
different
finished
from
Skyrim, did you?
Vikings. Did I finish?
No, you didn't.
I think I finished.
The main
I
quest.
at least got the most of the main quest.
Because
I never did the DLC.
Skyrim's main story was just so terrible and bland.
It was.
And
it was based
It was
ruined
kind of.
everything.
It was kind of meh.
It was not
But-
just it was like, God, you people just kind of
They were
stabbed
going
this
off the
in the
Nordic
leg.
Vikings,
You
man.
stabbed this in the knee.
With an arrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
They stabbed it in the knee with an arrow.
because Oblivion followed more with like English, like British RPG tradition story tropes, while Skyrim was going more towards the Nords and the Vikings.
Exactly.
That doesn't matter.
Well, that was the.
They still
the
could have done a
plot.
deeper story. You know, like, we had these...
Some of
they-
the side quests were better than the main quest.
No, because the entirety of
Oh.
the Dragonborn DLC was 1,000 times better than the actual story of Skyrim.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
I
Actually,
didn't play it.
Dragonborn DLC was
Josh,
really,
Does
really
that
good.
not bring it back from Redemption?
It doesn't.
Actually, the what was the vampire DLC? That was actually pretty good too.
It was alright.
I liked
it didn't end well
Ah, man.
because it just didn't feel like it ended.
It
Like there was no clear.
it added
defining ending.
vampire such things.
You
Yeah.
got a vampire,
You can be a
tree,
vampire.
and then you got a
Vampire lord.
Skyrim tree. Not Skyrim. You got
Werewolf.
a werewolf tree.
Skyrim's coming to
Wasn't that the
save us.
DLC where you can level up your werewolf?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's why I liked it because I was
It gave
so
werewolves something useful.
so strong as the werewolf.
But you couldn't
But-
be a werebear.
A werebear. Dude, those things are overpowered as shit.
But you couldn't be one.
I remember like I
That's in
posted-
the Dragonborn DLC, I believe.
You can't
which
be one.
was broken as like
Don't talk shit about
riding dragons. That was so broken.
Yeah.
it was so bad. It was
Don't
so
talk shit.
like horrible. Like I thought it was like you can control where it goes and everything. No, it's not.
No,
it.
it was horrible.
It's still fun.
It was not fun. Like I
It was a
had
good
no
idea.
what I was doing. The
They
entire
could have done
time.
it better though.
It was horrible.
But I haven't found any games that compete with Bethesda in the style and genre that they do, which is the first-person, open-world RPG. Like they have their own thing.
Why are you drinking that?
It's just ginger ale. What's wrong with you?
I love ginger ale, but like, why are you drinking
Anyway,
that?
back to Fallout 4. So yeah, they don't know what the DLC is, but they're like, we're gonna make sure that this is $40 worth of content, and we're gonna charge you $30 for it. You know, that's their bar for it. Like they're gonna make sure that they aim higher than how
Like, it
much
just
they
shows
charge.
that-
them
and
to
they
talk
don't know
about
what
it
it
yet.
is. They don't know what it
It
is.
just shows that
I don't
like
want them to talk about it yet, though.
Well, it's nice that they mentioned.
they don't
this
have
is the best,
ideas
it's
for the
best,
DLC
it's
yet, meaning
best.
that
I'm sure they have ideas, but
the
it's
game is
not-
pretty much finished.
it's not.
So now their main
No.
focus is
It's
on
probably
making
gonna
the
go
game perfect with frequent and constant
Well,
updates, and then
I-
DLC will come later.
Their
As it
main
should.
focus right
Which-
now.
Give people
It
time
should
to
be.
enjoy the game, and then DLC. Will
Their main focus right now,
That's
up
right.
until actual
really
like D-Day, we
Yeah.
can call it.
D-Day.
It's gonna be D-Day.
That's
The
racist.
bombs are gonna drop, man.
It's totally D-Day though for that game.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm so excited for
Yeah.
but
So hype.
the hype.
So
the main
excited.
focus that they're really going through right now is just marketing. What are we gonna do to market?
They don't
this
even
game
need to
more?
market it.
They
They
don't.
have to resource it.
No, they
Well,
don't.
because-
Though. Have you noticed that? That they haven't even really advertised it that much. They've released little
Well,
bits
a
of
lot of
info,
people
but they're
don't,
still
haven't.
holding it. It's mostly word of mouth.
Because like a lot of
Fallout's
games are
just
like
that
that.
interesting.
Like if you haven't noticed, that have this
The game
built
comes out
up.
in a month, and we still don't know a lot about it.
Yeah, because a lot of games are like that. That have built up all of this stuff,
2
and
months
it's
time.
just like, oh, I don't know anything about this.
It's September.
Like,
September.
no,
Am I
November
missing
11th.
August?
You're missing November. I mean, you're missing October.
2
Am I
months.
missing October?
God, Gio, you can't even
Uh,
do.
yeah, well,
calendar.
we don't count October. It's the Satan's month.
No, it's not.
The Satan.
You see, when I think about Kingdom Hearts 3 and stuff, I'm just like, oh, I don't know anything about Kingdom Hearts 3 technically. Like, I know all the events that are leading up to
When does
Kingdom
that
Hearts
release?
3. Probably 2017, most likely.
I swear to
we'll
God.
talk about that later.
So
though.
that's well. I mean, that's why because
talk
they
about that.
they have 2 years.
No,
we didn't
when-
hear shit until this year.
No,
about
when we
Fallout.
get to talking about 2.8, which we will be talking about.
Next topic
I'll talk
is
about that though.
I'm saying
Project
Fallout
Morpheus.
4 is gonna be amazing. Yeah,
Project
yeah, let's hear
Morpheus.
about that.
now has a new name.
What is it?
What name is it?
PlayStation VR.
Yeah, well, at least they're creative. Huh.
Yeah, that's
They
that's
should have
it.
just kept it Morpheus.
Morpheus was cool.
They literally just renamed it.
That's it.
Yep.
That's the entire topic.
There was demos, but
They should
wanna
have
know
just
what's
kept it
going.
Morpheus.
I heard about the Vive. Let's talk about VR for a second. I don't know anything about Morpheus. I haven't seen people talk about it.
My one thing with Sony doing this and such is that people are always just like, oh man, Sony can't do this and stuff, and it's just like, please, like, this is a company that started off in audio and visual. It's a company that started off in audio and visual. VR is audio and visual, so you gotta give them a good chance.
Have either of you looked into any of the demos or anything, or heard people talk about it?
I've heard people talk about it, and
anyone talk about it.
I've heard people talk about it, like the people at Kind of Funny. They like Greg Miller. He said he's used it, I believe, and he said that it was a lot of fun, and it was really good.
The only VR
Did he
headset
compare it to other
I
ones?
want is HoloLens.
Like
It's not really a VR headset, though.
It kind of is.
In my mind, there's 3 right now, and these are the 3 ones. It's PlayStation VR now,
Oculus.
the Vive, and the Oculus. Those are
I've
the
never
3.
heard of the Vive.
The Vive.
Oculus just feels like
It's
it's
just
never going to come
HTC's and Valve's.
Yeah, it's Steam and HTC's working together, and so far, from what I know, they have sensors on the headset, and it's supposed to like scan your environment around. So the games don't make you run into shit, because that would suck.
That's good.
And it sounds like they really want you to move, which is a lot of the.
Which is like
That's the whole motion sickness you get from playing those types of games, is because your body's not moving but your head is. It's annoying. So they're trying to solve that by making people move in the room. And I was watching the Rooster Teeth podcast, and they were talking about it, where they have you in a room, and they put the headset on, and then they're like, hey, you see that controller in the room? Reach out and grab it. And they do. And then they realize, holy crap, I just grabbed something in this game that I've never seen in real life. I don't know what this looks like, actually. So it's just interesting things like that. And then you have the whole, hey, there's a gap in the game, and I'm walking around this room, and my mind won't let me. My mind will not let me walk onto the gap. It won't let you fall. Just that convincing your brain that it's real, even though it isn't. And there's I don't know. There's a lot of awesome stuff coming out.
like
With that.
Like the only one I can feel coming out like anytime soon is going to be Morpheus. And I'm gonna keep calling it Morpheus.
Well, the Vive is supposed to be coming out. They said at the end of this year. I doubt it. Probably the beginning of next year.
Yeah.
And
Oculus will, like,
is
never
supposed to be
come out.
behind it.
Oculus has been going on for years now, man.
Oculus
They said practice.
is like will never come out.
What are they, Dev
It'll
Kit
come
2?
out.
They're
but-
DevKit 2. They've been on DevKit 2 for a bit, though. And DevKit 2 has leaning in it, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so you lean your head, and the character moves.
It's pretty awesome.
It's nice.
Speaking
Like-
of Sony
Mobility,
and such, PlayStation 4 got a price drop in Japan.
Nice.
How much?
In US dollars, that would be equivalent to $292.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Dude, if we get a PlayStation, we should order it online from Japan.
From Japan.
Yeah.
That's-
Shipping. Come on.
Shipping.
The shipping alone would
oh,
jack
yeah.
it up to $400 price tag.
But I forget what I was gonna say. Did you ever play like the PS3 Move, PlayStation Move?
No, I never touched it.
It was
I did
crazy
very,
good.
very little.
Like
For Wii.
yeah, like it was supposed to be like a better Wii, and they did that. But Sony does Sony stuff, and they're just like, we're dropping it.
Yeah. Because that's the annoying thing. It's like with the PlayStation TV, we were talking about that.
We're dropping it.
Where they have a decent product, and they're just like, yeah, but it's good, and we can keep working on it and try to get more sales, but it didn't make it, we're just going to quit.
It's not even that like
they
it
should
didn't
work
make any
on it.
sales or anything. It's
The
just
sales that they want it to.
they're really only focusing when it comes to their entertainment department. They're really only focusing on Blu-ray players, PlayStation 4, TVs, and like audio systems. They're not really focusing on anything else that isn't that.
That sucks.
When it comes to like other technologies that they have, like headphones too, they also count as like audio.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you can always make money off of headphones.
but when it comes to like PlayStation Vita, which is an awesome handheld, like
Is it?
it's amazing. The PlayStation Vita was absolutely awesome when
The
I had it.
last
It was neat. They let you stream from your
portable like handheld device I had was the God of War edition of the PSP.
I had a PSP at one point, but that was a long time ago.
PSP was great. It was great, but
I played the Warriors on PSP.
I
I had
played.
the movie on PSP. It
What
wasn't
game did I have
actually
on
a game.
PSP? I had like some Medal of Honor game.
Twisted Metal.
Twisted.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I absolutely hope there's a remake for Twisted Metal for the PS4.
Most
Oh.
likely.
Uncharted collection for PS4.
I own Uncharted 3 and 2 because PSN Plus, but I've never gotten into it.
I didn't either.
I want to get into it. It's just one of those games where it's a Sony exclusive,
I
so
tried playing
I never
the first one.
really got into it just
Like-
because I don't play that many Sony.
Voiced by Nolan
Exclusive.
North.
There's a lot
He's
of
my hero.
so
I feel like when the remastered version comes out, I'll play it because apparently it's a really good story.
Which would be good.
Yeah.
I heard. And the mechanics suck in the first one, but apparently it
Like,
gets way better as you
The only
progress.
reason why I don't really like
Game
Uncharted
series.
because it's kind of a Tomb Raider ripoff in a way.
It's
It's
well, I mean, that was
inspired
kind of
by-
the idea. It was like it's a PlayStation Tomb Raider.
like
I
because
love
Tomb
Craft.
Raider was like this.
Nathan Drake.
It just kind of Tomb Raider felt like it ended, and they needed somebody to like replace Lara Croft.
Nobody can replace her.
So
She's the
they
best.
kind of invented Nathan Drake because they were just like, hey, we need somebody else who's kind of
Speaking
like
of-
this
Tomb Raider, it's free for Xbox Gold members tomorrow.
Temple of Osiris or the.
The first one, the
Temple of
definitive.
Osiris was free forever.
No,
I
the
think it was.
Tomb Raider Definitive Edition for Xbox One.
Sweet. I can
Like
finally,
a $30 game.
I'll finally
Yeah.
play it.
You could have played it on like.
I had it on the 360 and I just didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I'm lazy as fuck.
Yeah.
I got like mostly through the game, and I said like it's decent, but
I loved playing Tomb
Definitely a
Raider as
modern
a kid.
Tomb Raider, yeah.
it's decent. It
I was-
just wasn't all that I expected it to be.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be more gritty and more like realistic, and
So
then
did
you're
I.
jumping around, flying around, and you're like,
Which
this
is like
really unrealistic movement.
I thought it was going to be a little bit more grittier and stuff like that, which is why I bought that collector's edition that you see upstairs and stuff for it. And I love the collector's edition because it came with everything that it should come with for a collector's edition.
You know, I'm really upset because I'll never get the Pip-Boy edition of Fallout 4.
Don't even try.
Just get a 3D printer. Print.
No, it's not from Bethesda. It's not from their store. It doesn't count, okay?
They'll probably put them up on sale again, like the Pip-Boy.
Probably just
I
in the
absolutely
future.
hope they do one more run. Like, before launch, we're like, hey, we have a secret stock of Pip-Boy editions. Here you go. If they do that, I swear to God, I will go negative.
I can't believe they keep going. Like they keep running out. That shows like.
Like, they said they were
everybody's
out,
anticipating Fallout.
but then
Well-
they did another run.
Well,
Here's the thing. When you have a company running like an item or something like that, like in China, when you have some Chinese company, I forget what the name of it is, like Foxconn or something like that, when you have them in their factories running your item, you're on a contract. You can only make this many in that amount of
Yeah,
time.
that makes sense.
Right.
Like you can't do any more than that. You have to buy another contract, and you got to be in a line. You
I
got
have
to
a
be in a
feeling-
list.
I have a feeling
Get in.
Bethesda made a
They probably had to pay
holy,
more.
like a holy shitload of Pip-Boy editions, but are under exaggerating how much they have. They're like saying, "Hey, we have 2 million of them, but we only have 500,000."
Why would they do that though? Like what
Because
would
it's
be the
Bethesda,
benefit?
and
would
that's
be
what
the
they do.
benefit in that when they're gonna make
To
money
release
either way.
it before launch and sell a whole bunch.
But they're gonna sell a whole bunch of
Because they're already saying, "Hey, we're sold out. We don't have any more." No,
It's
we're
that
not going to
whole-
make any more.
It's that whole you can't get it.
It's the whole, yeah, I want it, but I can't get it idea. But as soon as it becomes available, I will get it. Like that's why I want it.
It's marketing, man.
They're doing it pretty damn good.
So on to our next game, which
World of
is
Final Fantasy.
World of Final Fantasy.
Ryan,
Which-
you're the expert in this
That
subject.
entirely interests me. World of Final Fantasy. If you've seen Bravely Default,
Nope.
you've never seen Bravely Default.
Nope.
It was on 3DS, and it did very, very well.
Fine well.
Like
It's
as
a lot.
well as a 3DS game is gonna do.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Like
as well as a 3DS.
as well as a 3DS game is gonna do.
They sell them for pretty pricey, and that kind of
They do.
Like handheld games are too expensive, in my opinion.
They should be at least half the price of a retail game.
I would hope like a full-on console game. Yeah.
Yeah, at least half the
Kidding me?
price.
But
60
World of
bucks
Final
for a
Fantasy
handheld?
is it's like this chibi version almost. But
That's the one I was like.
Oh
it's
no!
cringy.
I don't like
It's
Final
cringy.
Fantasy as much as it is. That just makes me not want to play it.
No, because
So-
like the game is
That turn-based
designed
combat.
more for it's designed more for getting people into the series. So it's getting
With chibis?
no,
What?
it's getting kids.
Anime?
It's getting kids more into the series
That
to
makes
become
Okay,
like
alright.
so they can
it's
see.
directed towards kids.
It's
Kind
their
of
target
like it
audience.
changes exactly how it looks at times, because like during story and stuff like that,
It is like Kingdom Hearts-esque.
a little. It is like that a little bit.
Okay.
And it looks kind of like that, like how they're like this right now. During like running out in the field, you'll be looking
That looks
like this.
Yeah,
But-
then there we go. Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts style.
You start to look like that and all that.
Okay. So
But
that's...
the game's really lighthearted, and it's gonna be lighter tones and such. But out in the field, you're like a little chibi person, kind of running around. They're trying to get like kids and like some older people into the series more, so that way they can get
Well, it'll
introduced.
probably be kind of similar to Pokemon, where
Okay.
they kind of target it towards an audience,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
various
I
audiences.
guess
like,
I will
it-
give it a try.
Like it's looking like a really interesting game.
I don't like turn-based combat.
And it's taking the combat from Bravely Default, if you ever look at that.
Cloud.
Cloud, that's Cecil.
So this looks like it's gonna have some story in it.
Every Final Fantasy has a story to it.
Well, I mean, like it'll fit in somewhere.
Yeah, it always does. Like, you've seen Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts.
But
My boner.
moving on to Kingdom Hearts, because there's not much to talk about with World of Final Fantasy, though. There's not much
Do you know?
information.
Is there
Is it
like
just
a,
is it an
is there a
open
release
world?
date for it or
2016.
It's
2016?
Why is it called World of Final Fantasy?
Because it's like every Final Fantasy character mashed into a game, kind of like how it is in Kingdom Hearts.
So this is it. This is the game where they.
No, this is just like it's like Dissidia,
So
where it's like
it's not gonna be canon.
no, it's not canon to like anything, because
Why?
It's a spin-off.
every core Final Fantasy has its own story going. They have their own universe, they have their own religion, they've got their own politics, they've got their own.
So there's no
everything.
way, shape, or form that Final Fantasy 1, let's say, would
Wait a
Is not
second.
connected
tied
to
in.
2.
No,
Is
it
not
is.
connected to 3. Is
It's
not connected to
Leon.
4.
it would not connect in any other Final Fantasy game.
His name is Squall.
When Squall died, he created these parallel universes.
That's actually something I want to talk about though.
What are you
Like
talking about?
whenever
Squall is dead.
I was talking to Ernie though, and like we would talk about Final Fantasy 8 and we would talk about Kingdom Hearts. And whenever we talked about Kingdom Hearts, we would always say Leon. But whenever we talked about Final Fantasy 8, we would say Squall.
Because they
They're
call
the
him
same
Leon.
person.
They call him Leon in Kingdom Hearts.
They
That's
call
why
him
I call him Leon.
Nobody knows why. Like we don't know why they call him Leon in Kingdom Hearts. It makes no sense. His name is Squall.
Maybe because they couldn't get the character's name right. Even like the
It's just
rights to
Squall.
his name for some reason in some weird debate
That doesn't make sense.
between Square Enix.
Square Enix makes the game.
I know.
That doesn't
why-
make sense.
That's why it's crazy.
All right, so moving on
Conspiracy.
Maybe they wanted to like
to
they wanted it to be the same
Kingdom
character,
Hearts.
but not necessarily the same
we're
person.
moving on to the part that I really want to talk about is Kingdom Hearts 2.8, which is
Final
absolutely
chapter.
This is the absolute final game before Kingdom Hearts 3. And
If they don't do
Do you
it,
know everything that's included in Final?
you know what they should do? They should just port the 1.5 and 2.5 to PS4.
they probably will.
instead of
but
just doing an HD edition.
Kingdom Hearts
Even though
2.8
it'd be the
I
same.
can read off
Um,
everything it includes.
2.8 includes
60 FPS, yeah.
Dream Drop Distance, which was originally on 3DS.
Which means I might actually
Kingdom
play
Hearts
it.
HD
Oh, God, it
Remaster.
I already know what's everything that's in it.
I'm gonna read it for Geo's sake.
It includes Kingdom Hearts
Let him
Key,
continue.
Kingdom Hearts 0.2, Birth by Sleep, a
Which is-
completely new playable episode that links
Wait,
the
isn't
story
Birth-
of Kingdom Hearts 3.
I can talk about it myself. This is
Right,
the
I'm
game.
reading them from a list. Calm
Isn't
down.
Birth by Sleep in 2.5?
No, well, it was, but this is point 2, which is actually a episode of what happens to Aqua while she's in the realm of darkness, which you find out at the end of the game. To explain it a bit,
I still never beat.
in Birth by Sleep, you're following Terra, Aqua, and Ventus in their passage to becoming Keyblade wielders.
And who are they again?
Hmm?
Ventus specifically.
Ventus he's the guy who you were kind of confused about because he looks like Roxas, but
Very
instead
much like
Roxas looks like Ventus because Ventus connected his heart when it was fragmented by Xehanort to Sora's heart when he was 4 years old. And because of that, that's why Sora can actually wield 2 Keyblades, is because he has
And that's why
a part of Ventus's heart inside of his.
Sora's nobody doesn't look like Sora.
Yeah, it's why Sora's nobody looks like Ventus.
But wait, why does Kyrie's nobody
Kyrie's nobody is actually special because Kyrie is a princess of light.
Yeah, okay. That makes
So
sense.
she's got different rules kind of applied to
She's
her.
kind of a blonde.
Who's her nobody?
Her nobody is Nominee.
Nominee.
There we go. She's a blonde girl.
I know everything.
Nominee.
He knows everything.
I know everything about Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, that game's so good.
Live an expert.
So-
2 is so awesome. 2 is so good.
Oh, there's Birth by Sleep is amazing.
I meant to do it. I had it on my phone. That's what it was.
During Birth by Sleep, though, you find out all these different things and such about like what actually really happened and all that. Like who everybody actually in everybody in the original trio in Birth by Sleep, which we have to call that the actual original trio.
Yeah, because it's before.
Yeah, because
So
it
Birth
was-
by Sleep links is before Kingdom Hearts 3? It links to the story
Birth
of
by
Kingdom
Sleep
Hearts
is before Kingdom Hearts, like 1.
3? Really?
Yeah,
Kingdom Hearts 3 is the end. Like, it's in the timeline, it happens last.
like
It's
everything
not-
that really happens in Kingdom Hearts 1 till now is told. Like it's the backstory of it is told in Birth by Sleep, like why Xehanort is doing what he's doing and all that.
Xehanort is
Okay,
his
okay.
name. Go ahead.
Okay, on the TGS thing, it says Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, a completely new playable episode that links to the story of Kingdom Hearts 3, taking place after the storyline of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, played from the perspective of Aqua.
Now at the
so that's
end,
point.
yeah, at the end of
Point 2.
Yeah, it's different.
Why is
Yeah.
there so many? Oh my god.
There's a lot of
Square
numbers.
Enix doesn't know how to fucking just put.
There's a lot of symbolism.
They just put points everywhere. It gets kind of irritating and confusing.
There's a lot of symbolism inside of the Kingdom Hearts series, and people need to understand that. Like, I was watching a video actually yesterday. It was like top 20 questions people who aren't fans of Kingdom Hearts say about Kingdom Hearts, and like it's so true. All these things that people say about it, but like one of them was there are plot holes everywhere, and it's like there really aren't. Like everything is explained through every single one of these games. Every single plot point that you think is not explained is explained. Like it's ridiculous.
So what do we know about Kingdom Hearts 3?
Nothing really. Like
And that's good.
it's the end of the Xehanort
It looks
saga.
pretty damn awesome.
From the little they showed, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the end of the Xehanort saga. There's gonna be an epic battle. What we can really say is that Sora, Donald, Goofy, Riku, and Mickey are all looking for the 7 heroes of light.
Yeah.
You have to know more about Kingdom Hearts to know who those people really are.
I played all of Kingdom Hearts.
I played the
Have
first
you
and the
really?
I
second.
just don't remember it because it's such a long
Well,
time
the
ago.
handholds, I imagine you didn't play.
No, I don't count the handhelds.
That does.
I don't
The
play the handhelds
handhelds
either.
are like the most important thing ever. You want to know why you didn't understand
now-
anything in Kingdom Hearts 2?
I did though.
Did you really?
I did.
I mean,
Like,
some
why was
things
he in the
are-
pod?
Because he was in the pod.
Because recoded. Or
No.
not recoded. They did Birth by Sleep.
No.
No, I don't know. What the fuck is the one I'm
He
thinking
was in the
of?
pod because of Chain of Memories. Everything
Chain
that
of
happened
Memories,
in Chain
there
of
we go.
Memories.
But I
In
could
Chain
just
of
read the
Memories-
Mangu.
No. In Chain of Memories, Naminé like took away their memories, put them back and stuff like that. And then I'm not
Naminé's
gonna go
a
into
little
it
hard. Mangu.
because Chain of Memories.
Did you
I
read
didn't
the
care
manga?
for it. No,
Dude, it's
I
it's
kinda
fuck,
did,
it's
but,
awesome.
I remember kind of reading it in
It's
school
pretty-
because they had one in the library. but-
pretty good. And it's pretty funny. Like they have obviously they're kind of a little comedy in it, and it's very well done.
Yeah,
I would say.
because Japan.
I love Japanese people.
But
The mangoes are good. Double plus good.
yeah, they're searching 7 heroes of light, and Sora might get a hold of the Keyblade that can bring people back to life.
Might.
Might.
He
Who
said
would he
he-
bring back to life?
Well, because the reason is because
up inside.
Sora isn't like he's not the one who was destined to wield the Kingdom Key.
Who was?
That was Riku. Riku was supposed to wield the Kingdom Key. That's why in Kingdom Hearts 1, when you get into a fight, like near the end, Riku can summon the Keyblade over to his hand. He's able to do that because it's his Keyblade. It was his Keyblade the entire time, and it called out to him. But because of the light that's inside of Sora's heart, he was able to call it over because his will was just... Sora's will was just stronger. His
manly
light
spirit.
was just stronger.
His manly spirit.
However, people are really pissed off that like Sora's not like a Keyblade master, but
He can wield. He's a Keyblade wielder.
He's a Keyblade wielder, but he's not a master of the Keyblade, but Riku is. And that's because Riku overcome the darkness in his heart. And he actually showed that he could do that.
Didn't Sora kind of overcome his own? Like he didn't. He was a Heartless at one point.
He was a Heartless, but
He overcame
you know in 2 how you can go into your shadow form?
Yeah.
That's when the darkness would take over.
That was my favorite form.
It was pretty cool.
It was a cool form. It was really cool.
And it was it was only triggered by...
Actually, no, the one where you shoot from your Keyblade was pretty cool.
That's not Valor, is that?
I forgot what that one was called.
The best form is Limit form.
Limit break.
No,
Break that limit.
Limit form was only in the final mix. I can show you that like later or something. But we got to move on to our next game. We've been doing this for a while.
This is the final one, actually.
For
Resident Evil Umbrella Corps.
Is that the multiplayer one?
Capcom.
Yeah.
Didn't they have issues with the multiplayer
Stop.
in the past? Like Raccoon City had really shitty multiplayer.
I know Raccoon City is not canon. We don't talk about that. You know what? You know what else is not canon? Every single Resident Evil after 4.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
All I have
They
to say is
mentioned that?
Capcom.
Did they say that?
No, I'm saying
Be
that
good.
because Capcom doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
That should remind me. BioShock 2 had multiplayer.
Dude.
Revelations is Capcom
It's
making
upstairs. I
a
didn't know
return
that. Collector's
to
edition
the
is upstairs.
Resident Evil series. Because Revelations is really good.
Nobody plays it.
Like Revelations was the best Resident Evil I've played since 4. Because 5 and 6 were horrible.
Revelations was the best Assassin's Creed.
It was fun.
We're talking about Capcom, not Ubisoft.
I know,
So
but-
you need to keep.
Revelations was
The series. But back to Capcom. Capcom, get your act together because Dragon's Dogma 2 needs to be a thing, not Dragon's Dogma Online. I'm excited for it, but it's not necessary. You don't have the money to run an MMO.
Resident Evil Umbrella Corps is for PC and PS4 only, as of right now, at least, and it's slated for release in early 2016. Umbrella Corps is an online competitive third-person shooter.
Wait.
It's
So there's
built.
no story?
It's just online all exclusively.
Okay. A lot of games.
It's built on the Unity engine.
Why?
Why? I don't know.
Because they're broke.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Because they're broke.
If you're using the Unity engine as a AAA company, you have an issue.
But it will feature maps based on historic locations from the series.
And the fact that it's only multiplayer also says, like...
Well, you know, if they can work magic on the Unity engine, because some people can work magic
No, they
on it.
definitely can. It's just like, most big companies...
Don't use it, but
stray away.
dev kits and stuff are expensive.
But they have their own engine, don't they? Tony, you would know.
I
Or do
believe
they
so.
use, like, Unreal and stuff?
Here's a screenshot from it.
That looks great.
It does look great. Unity can do a lot if you have practice. It's just, it's strange to hear a big company use it.
It's very true, though. Like, maybe if they were using it for...
It's pretty. But that's also a screenshot, to be fair.
True. If they were using it for a mobile game, don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
you would never care on a mobile
I
game.
don't care. Unity engine? Yeah, sure. Why not? Because it's perfect. But AAA, PS4, PC,
Yeah.
Xbox One.
I feel like
AAA
getting
games,
things like 60 FPS, 1080p, and things like that, it's just kind of like stretching the limits of Unity.
Yeah, a little bit.
So
And that's why they end up having their own engine.
Okay, so there are zombies in the multiplayer.
I'd hope so. I wonder if those are player controlled or if those are AI controlled.
If it's anything like 6, you can be the zombie in 6.
Like if you die.
Like, you can play online, and, like, say somebody's playing a story online, you can be a zombie in their online story.
That's awesome.
I think so, right?
But isn't that game kind of shitty?
Resident Evil 6? Oh, Resident Evil 6 was horrible. The only slightly decent campaign in that was Leon's.
Yeah.
Just because
You're right,
Leon's
man.
fucking awesome.
He's a pussy.
So Tokyo Game Show obviously being just Japanese games, kind of, and then randomly Ubisoft,
Because Ubisoft is money whores.
Yeah. So they just
not
crashed
buying
the whole
Syndicate.
thing, and I want to,
I'm buying it just because.
but
I'm
don't.
just waiting for the reviews and stuff to come out before I even touch it because I was really disappointed by Unity.
I wasn't disappointed by Unity because I knew what to expect from Assassin's Creed after Assassin's Creed.
Game Informer hyped me up, and then playing the game, like, the gameplay was great, don't get me wrong. The story was super annoying because it didn't amount to anything. Spoilers here,
No!
the entire point
No!
is moot.
You already knew this.
No, I didn't.
I already
didn't
told
finish
you
it.
this.
You did.
The whole
You
thing
did.
with the sage, like, oh, your whole thing is you're you. You're not a in the future, you're yourself in the modern world, and you're getting talked to. They're breaking the fourth wall, and that bothers me. I don't like that. It makes me uncomfortable that they're using the player. Like, it's a neat idea and all, but it bothers me because I was invested in Desmond. I was invested.
Yeah, everybody.
I was invested in that world.
Everybody who's actually into video games was invested into Desmond.
Like, I didn't like Desmond at all, but in the third game, I started to like him.
What
do they do? They fucking kill him. Piss me off.
A lot of people hated Desmond and stuff like that, and I'm wondering, like, why?
Yeah, I wonder.
It was a story.
I just didn't like him. I just preferred.
He's voiced by Nolan North. That's already a plus.
No.
Yeah, because that was the actual story of the game.
Peter
was
Dinklage
following
better.
Desmond and all that, and then they just decide, hey, let's just kill him. Hey, let's just not make this about what it actually was about before.
And then 4, I played a little bit of 4. I still haven't beat it, but I like the way they did 4. It was kind of nice to walk around in first person and just explore the offices. It was nice, and I wasn't me. I wasn't being talked straight to by a character of the game breaking the fourth wall.
I basically hated every
They're like, hey,
Assassin's Creed after
you need to work with us. We're the assassins. Work with us. Let's find out where the sage is so the Templars don't get it. You play the game, and we'll, watch over you and shit. So you do that, and then you're like, okay, we gotta make sure they don't get the sage. Where's the sage? And then it's like, oh, he's been dead. He's been dead this entire time. He's in the catacombs. And it's like, well, what was the point? Was this entire story filler? That was the entirety of the main point. Like, there was obviously Arno's story, but Arno's story was kind of
No spoilers.
Yeah, I won't go into
It
it.
was stupid.
And that final boss fight was garbage.
No spoilers.
That was garbage.
Every boss fight in that was garbage.
Assassin's Creed.
The whole hot air.
It's garbage in
Kind
itself.
of bothered me. I mean, the gameplay was fun. Like, I like the new direction. Like, they're kind of making it run around smoother, which is what I wanted.
Like, I like
everything else about it.
The game looked beautiful. It played pretty fun,
But the
the
performance sucked.
Yeah, but there were stupid things like what was it called? Like Descend or something like.
Descend and Ascend were okay. I kind of liked it.
Like Descend was terrible. Ascend was great.
Sometimes.
But Descend, no, it was literally just.
Well, when I went back and played Black Flag, it was
jump
hard
down
to not get used to. Yeah, but you don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, but it was just slight jump down. Like you saw in the not the commercials, but the trailers and stuff.
How bad
it was
it
like,
was.
yeah, how really cool I looked and stuff. And you never had that. You would just drop down a bit every time, and that's all you got. You never really got those cool little cinematic.
How about the fact this really, really gets to me, and there's no good excuse for it. Why are they in France, and everyone has a British accent? There was no excuse, because when you go to Brotherhood, when you go to Assassin's Creed 2, they all have Italian accents, or they have accents that fit the area. Revelations had the same thing, so you can't blame it. Oh, when whoever's in the Animus, it translates for them. That's not a good excuse. That's laziness.
What if it is the excuse? Like, what if it works
It's not.
like that?
That doesn't make any sense.
What if it works like that?
It doesn't make any sense because I'm not British. Are you British?
No.
We're not. Nobody's in the Animus. Remember, this is Unity.
To be fair, I haven't played Unity, so I don't know what you're talking about.
It's disappointing.
So
That's what it is.
It is disappointing. Like,
I mean, the new stealth revamp was nice and all, and this is going to get me onto a different point. Before we start coming on to something else, while I'm thinking about it, I need to talk about it. Games are bothering me.
Sorry to hear that.
They're focusing more on graphical fidelity. Then they're focusing on performance. And Total Biscuit is completely right in this. 60 FPS needs to be an industry mandatory. We should not accept anything else.
Right.
Anymore.
It should be standard.
Because when I went to play Payday 2 on the console, and the 30 FPS I kind of got used to on the 360, but this is supposed to be next gen.
I don't care
Payday
much
2,
about that.
well, Payday 2, like a first-person shooter, is the kind of game where you notice it. Like, it feels gross
it's
playing
noticeable.
Payday 2 on consoles.
And
Payday 2
Payday
2 isn't crazy with its graphics. They should have been able to easily make that 60 FPS.
Was it? Is it 30?
It's at 30. You can feel it. It's gross.
Payday 2 Crime Wave.
Yeah.
It's 30 FPS.
It's gross. You
on
can feel
Xbox
it.
One.
You can feel it.
Why? Why?
There's no reason because the game doesn't look great. The game doesn't look great graphically.
It's mediocre.
I would have been okay if they dropped the graphics even lower. I want if it's Half-Life 2, if it's Half-Life 1 graphics, and it runs in 60 FPS and 1080p, I'd be happy. As long as the gameplay was fun. Because honestly, I think graphics should be like the lowest.
Well, speaking of 30 FPS. Fallout 4 is in 30 FPS on Xbox One and PS4.
Well, that's because it's a world. It's
They
an
have
open
that.
world game.
Yeah, something like that I can understand.
Like a
But
lot of
I'm gonna
open
have to
world
play
games
it,
are going to
so
be
it's-
at 30 FPS.
But I like 60 FPS, man.
a
It's
lot
not
of
really a
open world
first
games are
person
gonna be like
shooter like
To be fair, though, it is
Call of
consoles and
Duty.
they are limited. If you
Like,
play on PC, it's
shoot booties.
Did you
60
see
FPS.
that map I gave of Final Fantasy 15?
No.
Like compared to like The Witcher 3's map and GTA 5's map.
To be fair, Witcher 3 is pretty big.
Which 3 is
Like,
covered by loading
it's
screens,
bigger.
isn't it?
It's huge.
Like,
huge.
Like if I can find that,
Oh,
if I can find it,
God.
I can show you the map.
Because it's huge, like
Anyway, while you're
Novigrad,
looking for
like
that.
Novigrad, like the whole area of Novigrad is one huge area on its own, bigger than a lot of open world games today. So is Skellig. So, no, like as Angry Joe said, it's huge open world zones, but they're all connected via
Yeah.
loading screen.
Which, I
So
mean,
if you put
have
it all
to- you have
together,
to do.
you kind of have because it's console.
Well, not just that. I mean, in order to run it smoothly, with
That as
little
well.
frame drops.
Like I feel like they could have pulled it off on PC where there was no loading screen, or
Yeah, but you have to have a monster of a PC to run it, and
Very
that's the issue
minimal.
with PC that elitists don't understand. Is consoles may be limited, but that's why they're nice because you know your game
They
will always
work.
work. You know your game will always run. And with PC, they're just like,
This one isn't the one.
we'll just unchain
There it
it. Good luck. I hope you have I hope you have the hardware to run it.
Oh darn, that's small.
yeah, it's really small.
If you don't, that's your fucking problem.
But
Yeah, I mean,
let me try to zoom.
So it's kind of like, What's that?
So this is the comparison to Final Fantasy 15's map compared to The Witcher 3 and compared to Grand Theft Auto 5. And this is after doing a ton of actual
Final
research.
Fantasy 15.
that's one zone.
Yeah. This is actually doing a ton of research. Like the map.
But that's one zone in Witcher 3.
And
Yeah.
that's the entirety.
That's
of
just
Grand
one
Theft Auto
zone.
5.
Yeah.
Grand Theft
That's
Auto
only
5.
one zone. Now if we add in all the zones,
Looks like Novigrad.
I wonder
it
if
still
there's
wouldn't
gonna
be
any loading
big enough
screens,
though.
so-
Skellig was bigger than that.
Because here's why. The map for Final Fantasy 15 is estimated, and they did a ton of research for this. Believe me when I do say that. There was a 2-page article
So
saying, like, this is what we had to do. This is our entire equation
Is
on
it
how
new?
we did this.
Like, is it a new land set, or did they base it off of, like, New Zealand or something?
No, they completely make this themselves. They do this with every game.
I mean,
but
you know.
the estimated mileage,
It's
of-
easier as an artist to have something to draw from.
like, they based the architecture off of
You know what that
both
is,
Tokyo
right?
and Paris.
That's for dog nails.
Yeah. But the entirety of the map is estimated to be around 780 miles.
What's your take? Now, did they confirm if it's all one big thing or if there's loading screens?
it's probably loading
Just
screens.
one big thing.
Alright,
Want to wrap up?
well, I mean, I didn't get to the Taken King yet.
We do have to talk about the Taken King.
How I haven't beat it, but I played the first mission, and the entirety of the first mission has a better story than the
Then-
entirety of the game.
Yeah. Which is entirely sad because I hate
$40
hate Destiny with a passion.
But Destiny's great, man.
I hate Destiny.
10
with
out
a
of
passion.
10.
But the DLC,
Dude, Destiny's original story is so good.
he beat it, and you didn't even know he beat it.
Yeah.
You're like, this is the last
Don't
mission.
start.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Skyrim.
The DLC actually has weight to it, though. The Taken King feels like you're actually doing stuff. They've made it so the ghost actually has a reason to exist. Like, you scan objects from the room, you're actually looking for little collectibles, you're looking for things. It's actually, I don't know, it feels better than the entire base game.
Which is sad.
Yeah.
Which is very sad because if it's completely different from what the actual base game is supposed to be like, then you've kind of failed somewhere. Like, this is what your game should have been like from the start, when you had all that time.
You're right.
Like, it should just been Destiny when it was released last year. It should have been Destiny, the Taken King, with everything that it has right now in one game. That would make a perfect game.
Because as like the people from start, like me, who pre-ordered it and was super excited and were like, yeah, it's Bungie, of course they're gonna hit it off. I feel like that $60 I spent was like ill spent.
It was a waste
I
of money.
guess. Because now you come out with the DLC that was $40 and you can get the base game for $20 with it, and then it's like It's the base game and the 2 DLCs.
That's why I will not buy the Taken King, is because you people made me waste my money last year. So I'm not going to like waste my money again for something that isn't on 100%.
I don't even like Destiny all that much.
Like the
DLC.
The DLC is freaking awesome. Like, the Taken King is absolutely wonderful.
Like,
why wasn't the main game like that in the first place?
You get a sword as your heavy
money.
weapon,
That's
and
why.
I want that.
It's just weird to me.
Because they want $60. And then they want $60 next year. And now they're going to want $60 next year when they come out with their third Destiny expansion. Because that's totally how they're going to do it.
Well, technically this is the third one.
Well, yeah, but they're totally going to do it.
But this is like the first real expansion. The
Like,
other
this is
two
the
I
first
wouldn't consider
big
expansions.
Those are just like mini deals.
Like, this one comes with whole new areas, the cutscenes. Nolan North actually has some really good lines where it actually feels like Nolan North put effort into it. Like, the base game, it's just him. I figured out why he sucks when he was going over Peter Dinklage's lines. Those lines weren't written with him in mind. They were just written, and now he's going back through the scenes, and he doesn't get to put himself into it as much. He's just reading lines that are already written. And that's why when you play the Taken King, you notice his lines are actually good. It actually feels like the character has some value to it. He has, the ghost is actually interesting. And that's because they were written with Nolan North in mind. They were written and he got to do his own thing. Instead of it being bland. Then you have like a big ass ship to look into that you're like, oh, you watch the cutscene, the ship does its thing, it destroys a bunch of places, and you're like, alright, let's go on it. Let's look at it.
Okay.
This isn't gonna be that big. And it's fucking humongous inside.
That's what reminded me. They actually did release something not that long ago. This is talking about back to Final Fantasy 15 because they're stealing, not really stealing, because Square Enix, like, they publish Just Cause. They're taking some of their coding and such from like ships and all that. So because they wanted to add in airships into Final Fantasy 15.
So they're gonna have airships. That's cool.
Airships have always been a thing outside of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, they've been in
like,
the background. They've been in.
They've been there for a very long time, and they really wanted to bring it into the game. So they're taking some of the coding and all that.
Well, with a map like that, of that size,
Yeah.
that's that like 4 times bigger than Grand Theft Auto 5, you're gonna need some way to traverse it. Like a horse just isn't, or a chocobo just isn't gonna do.
Choco the Chocobo.
But
Chokikabo.
there's also gonna be like water travel too, and other kinds of travel and all that.
Speedboats.
But something that was really cool was that I saw a little video. Well, it was a little GIF, really, GIF. But
GIF.
the guy, when he was playing as the main character as Noctis, he teleported right inside the airship and he started fighting the enemies that were inside of it, and it was just so ridiculous looking. It's just like this just makes me want to buy the game that much more.
Anyway, so if you're on the fence about the Taken King, I recommend it because it's way better than the base game, but be prepared to be reminded how ungreat the base game is.
And on the other side of not buying it, Destiny just sucks. That's
the
it.
guy who hasn't played it since the DLC dropped.
Because they had their chance.
Oh.
They had their chance many
That's
times.
fired.
I'm gonna play it.
They had their.
I'm enjoying it.
I gave them 6 months of updates
Benny, stop.
and all that, and they had their chances, and they failed every single time.
What game releases a good DLC within 6 months of release, though? Like, what game has had good DLC within 6 months of
Because
release?
they have to have 6
Skyrim.
months to work on it.
Skyrim? You're saying Skyrim's DLC is good.
Wait, how long did
Skyrim's
their
DLC is
DLC
good.
take to complete? Did it come out within the first year?
What?
Their DLC?
Well, it came out within the first year, yeah.
Did it?
It came
It
out...
came out within the first year.
I don't know how... Well, it's a big company like
2012.
Bethesda, so you expect nothing but
I feel like
quality
Bethesda
from them.
got... I'm sure they got larger.
It
now.
came out in, I want to say, like, July, really, of 2012. But then, like...
I'd say it was at least more than 6 months after Skyrim was released. That
It was more than 6 months, though. But
Okay, so yeah, my point exactly.
it was within a year of its release.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Taken King took a year.
You said 6
Yeah.
months.
The Taken King did take a year, but it doesn't matter. We're just going to say within that year. They came out with some good DLC within the year. Now, a little bit after the year, in December of that month, actually no, it wasn't even in December of that month, because it was December of 2013 that they came out with, what's it called?
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn, which was absolutely incredible. But They came out with Dawn Guard and they came out with Hearthfire. But
thought you were about to say Hearthstone.
No. PC and PS3 didn't see that until the next year in 2013. Which I remember that because that was like a big thing too. It was kind of annoying that we didn't get to see it until 2013. That we actually got the DLC for Skyrim. But I didn't mind it.
We should wrap up soon.
We are gonna wrap up soon. Best part about like the Skyrim DLC.
Because it's been 54 minutes.
Shh. No, let's go for an hour.
But
this is pretty much an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm running out of things to talk about.
Okay.
Best thing about the Skyrim DLC though that I really liked, it's not even based on like Skyrim DLC. It's actually because Sony sent my account $10 for free and just said thanks for being a loyal customer.
And you bought Skyrim DLC?
Yeah, I got Skyrim DLC for free.
But you got it on console.
So, plus,
God.
actually,
for once it matters.
That was actually
because they'll have mods for it.
A year after, like.
This was also.
Take a year?
But, I said next year. So 2016 is when the mod tool will be released for PC.
Well, I'm sure people are going to mod it anyway.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah.
Without the mod.
But official support from Bethesda.
That's true. Because Bethesda's going to have to.
Like CD Projekt Red just recently released like an official tool for Witcher 3.
That's nice.
But
I need it.
The DLC was actually half off too for like so long on PSN because Bethesda was just like, yeah, we know. We really prolonged this DLC for you guys. So everything was half off. So like Dawn Guard and Dragonborn were both $10.
Yeah, but did you build a house?
Did you build a house? I built.
That was only $5 for me.
That took a while.
Did you build a house?
Actually, that wasn't even. Yeah, that was $5 because it was $10.
I still didn't play the DLC, so
I almost completed
have little
Skyrim.
input on Skyrim, actually.
I almost completed Skyrim. I had like 72 out of 75 achievements for it. So close.
Alright, well I think that's it.
Alright, yeah, and that's where we're going to have to end this podcast off. That went on for way too long than it should have.
No, it's about right.
Yeah,
it's way too long.
We went through all the topics we wanted to discuss.
Kind of. I guess that's where we're gonna end this off. Thank you for like listening and all that and stuff. If you actually were listening, but this is just a pre-recording, so yeah.
This is a pre-recording.
I'll edit that out.